because that was who would have swapped off the road. They went into the bush. And that impact in the bush will totally disorientate anybody who is in that vehicle. And then they came in, swapped on them, and murdered them in horrible listen. But let me give you information, Mr. C. As much as we don't like what happened, we have also written to Mr. President. We wrote a letter yesterday to Mr. President, and we said, Mr. President, you have given an order to the Chief of Defense Staff to take over the investigation and make sure justice is done. This is the language of the President. You are asking those who are victims to take over investigation in their own matter. It is wrong, Mr. C. I said maybe if you are looking for revenge, that's what when you send them.
I mean, I was going to come there, Chikwe Udensi. But before we even get to that point, because there's been a little bit of an argument, some have brought a legal perspective to that. But let's look at this dimension. You've taken us down history lane or memory lane, if you like, with regards to incidents, a replica of what happened in Delta State last week, Thursday. Are we constantly seeing the whittling down of the fearsomeness the Nigerian military was hitherto known for, with these incidents happening and recurring? I mean, there was a point in time where the military, some would argue, was really very feared. Could it be the frequent exposure to civilian subjects? Some would argue, hey, they should be in the barracks. Is that what we're seeing play out?
What we have suggested, Mr. C, is that let us see a military that is feared in battle, not amongst the civilian populace. You're not going to flex muzzle with arms and ammunition to a populace that is armless.
Because some persons would argue that in the first place, what was the military doing in such a civil disobedience? It should be within the purview of the Nigerian police.
Yes, but the Nigerian police is most unprepared for matters like this. We have always said that they are poorly equipped, poorly remunerated, poorly funded. They don't even have, you might be surprised, Mr. C, that the divisional police office in that area may not even have a vehicle, may not even have a serviceable vehicle. That is the very unfortunate thing we have in this country. So the alternative will be to use the military. So, but what we are saying, as a matter of fact, is that we should have military that will excel in the territorial protection of territorial integrity of the nation. Let the military excel in fighting wars and winning wars for the country. We're not going to fear them for coming to terrorize the society or terrorize the communities. You don't carry arms and say you are competing with those who are armless. No, there's no competition there. At least it is not a fair competition. So what we're saying, as a matter of fact, is this: do not send them into areas where their job does not dictate. The military's job is to fight wars, protect the territorial integrity of our nation, and not to come to our communal conflict areas. And when they come there, they have no operating procedures. There are no standards. There are no rules. There are no regulations. People are handled in very horrible manners and treated as if we're not in a civilized society.
Now, to your take on the president's charge on the high command to fish out the perpetrators of the dastardly act and bring them to justice. It hasn't gone down well with a lot of Nigerians.
No, as much as we believe that that act is unacceptable, we're all in agreement that that act is extremely unacceptable. But you're not going to send people who were the ones who are victims. They cannot be a judge in their own case. You can't ask the military to go and let there be justice against people who have fired against them. It is wrong. If military has been attacked, you send an independent body to go and investigate and ensure there's justice. Justice cannot come from the man who is also a party to the conflict. The military is already a party to the conflict. You can't send the same military to go and ensure there's justice. No. What they will end up doing there is ensuring there is vent. Let me give you information, Mr. C. Right now, we have those on ground have given us indication that about 52 persons have died in that community following the military invasion. About 18 houses has been burnt down. Mr. C, don't forget what happened in Udi when General Malu was the chief of army staff. General Malu sent people to go to Udi. Udi is in Bayelsa State, and that was during the reign of
Obasanjo. Yes.
Obasanjo, yes. Malu sent military into Udi to destroy Udi for the killing of policemen. Udi was leveled down. The whole nation was crying. International community were crying. But General Malu didn't blink an eye. He was saying that he did the right thing. Not too long after that, Mr. C, the homeland, the village of Malu, Zakibiam, there was killing of military men there. But Malu was no more chief of army staff then. He was a civilian then. Army went in, destroyed the whole of his own village, Zakibiam, and even killing 3 members of his family, and even destroying his own house. The truth is very simple, Mr. C. We have always advised, according to Chino Achebe, don't throw a stone into the market. You don't know who is there. Your mother could be there. Your sister could be there. Let us follow the rule of law. When a thing like this happens, there should be proper investigation. There should be ways to prevent them from happening again. But the problem has always remained that government will not listen to us, experts in the area. Government will do things the way they want to do it. The leadership of the armed forces will send people into areas of conflict, into areas of violent war, unprotected. They'll come with pickups, no body armor. Some of them will even come with pistol, when you ought to be using war rifles for that situation. So if you enter that area of conflict unprepared, the consequences is one of the things we are seeing today.
Pretty sad, really sad. But with 3 suspects already said to be in detention, is that a good step already?
We're equally opposed. We're equally opposed to sending the people to military barracks. Let the police take over. Let the civil defense take over. Let another agency that is not involved in the conflict take over. You cannot send 3 people you have picked up somewhere who you have not tried. You send them to military barracks to go and defend themselves over the killing of military people. You can't be a judge in your own matter. That's what we're saying. We should have a semblance of fairness. If you want justice, there must be fairness. If there's no fairness, there can't be justice. So those military men should not keep those 3 people. They should be sent to police department or sent to civil defense department, or government can set up a special committee, a special investigation committee to make sure that the right thing is done. Sending them to the military barracks, we are opposed to it, we condemn it, and we say it is not the right thing to be done.
23 minutes gone past 9. Open Parliament still. Interpol Systems consultant and security expert. Chikwe Udensi is still a guest. Let's get to the judiciary now, where the Federal High Court in Abuja yesterday once again dismissed the fresh application the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, filed to be released on bail pending the determination of the treasonable felony charge the federal government preferred against him. Well, the trial judge, Justice Bintanyako, ordered instead accelerated hearing of the FG's 7-count charge against him. Now, Kanu had an application he filed through his team of lawyers led by Mr. Aloy Ejimako on February 5th, prayed the court to grant him bail on most liberal terms owing to his deteriorating health. Well, Ejimako argued that there was no dispute that the IPOB leader has a serious health condition that was confirmed by the federal government-owned hospital, and this through various tests conducted on Nnamdi Kanu. I want to take on this, sir.
It's not Ejimako, it's Ejiofo. Mr. C, you must have to be learning how to pronounce Igbo names. It is,
well, the report is carrying Ejimako.
No, it's Ejiofo.
I guess probably it's typographical then.
I had the enormous discussion with Barrister Ejiofo, a very courageous lawyer, very experienced lawyer. I had discussions with him up to early hours of this morning on that problem we have in Abuja. Mr. C, we have always advocated that if you want peace, you must not just seek peace, you should pursue peace. We have always insisted that you must have to do the right thing at all given times. You must not choose when to do the right thing and then choose when to do the wrong thing and expect the right thing to happen. Government has been arranging all kinds of peace missions in Southeast. The one they arranged in Enugu, I refused to go to. The one they arranged in Owerri, I said I wasn't going there, just for one reason. The reason is that the problem in the Southeast today is as a result of the continuous incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu. The day that young man is released, with condition, I have insisted there must be condition so that we can have a lasting peace. If you want to sustain peace, you don't give out bail without conditions. There must be conditions attached to the bail. But we should release him. Once that man is released, there will be a lasting peace in the society. But let me give you a further information on why I think the continuous detention is wrong. First and foremost, Mr. C, you recall that it was, I think it was 14th of October in 2015. That was the first time he was arrested and then granted bail. He was granted bail after 18 months in detention. It was in 2017 that he was granted bail. And he was in his hometown in, I think, Afaruku, in Ibeku, in Umahia. That was where he was. He was still carrying out the activity, militant activity. That is why I said, if you are giving anybody bail, there must be conditions to the bail. If you want the bail to sustain, the truth remains that Nnamdi was still carrying out some activities that were at variance with the conditions that somebody who has been granted bail ought to be having. But that being the case, there was no justification whatsoever for the military to invade his house. The military invaded his house, killed some of his family members and his relations and friends, killed them, and the young man ran away. We are talking about survival. Survival is the bottom line. Survival and self-preservation is the first step anybody can take. So, and the world granted the fact that, yes, he ran away because he had to be put to protect himself. He was under bail condition. There was no need going to attack him. If you had wanted to arrest Nnamdi, you would have waited for the next court date. You can arrest him after the court session, or maybe in court, as they usually do. They did not do that. What they did was they attacked his house, killed people violently. The man ran away. But let me give you the area that concerns me so much, and for which almost everybody we have spoken to, domestically or internationally, everybody's at loss. Look at the judgment of the lower court. Look at the judgment of the appeal court. In fact, the appeal court judgment was very, very instructive. The appeal court judgment says that federal government has broken all known laws, especially the illegal rendition, illegal bringing back of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria. Both the lower court, the appeal court, and the Supreme Court, all of them held that that rendition was wrong. They went ahead to say that he didn't jump bail. He ran away for his life. A man who is in his house and his court date is coming in a few days' time, and you go to attack him violently, he has no choice than to run away. So there was no jumping of bail there. there was no jumping of bail by the lower court, by the appeal court, and also by the Supreme Court. But let me tell you what surprises everybody. If that is the position of the law, by both the lower court, the appeal court, and Supreme Court, why say that he should not be released but tried? If he did not break any law by running away, if he didn't jump bail, if he is coming back to Nigeria through Kenya, that rendition was an illegality, why keep it? That is why lawyers like Abakoba will keep saying that it used to be what the law says, but today it is no more what the law says. It is now what the court says. It is unfortunate he was not granted bail. He ought to have been granted bail. That would have kick-started the peace initiative and the healing of all the sores we have in the Southeast.
We'll go for a break, but when we return, I mean, he was captured, the leader of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, saying that if he's released in just a couple of minutes, peace returns to the Southeast. What do you make of those comments? And we're going to touch about Abia State, where the House of Assembly is set to pass a bill for a law to repeal the Abia State Governors and Deputy Governors Pensions Law number 4 of 2001, and for other matters connected therewith, set to revoke pensions for governors and deputies in Abia State. Stay with us. It's Open Parliament. It's live on the frequency. Don't forget ABN Radio and TV. You can stream this live. We'll be back.
Your favorite Indomie noodles is now 250 naira for Indomitable 70 grams and 400.
Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium.
Many thanks for staying with us. Midweek edition Open Parliament live on the frequency. A guest, Interpol Systems consultant and security expert, Chikwe Udensi. My name is Mr. C. We're staying with the Federal High Court's issue with regards to the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. Well, yesterday, Nnamdi Kanu promised to restore peace in the southeast region of the country. Well, I disclosed this a moment after the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja dismissed his fresh application to be released on bail pending the determination of the treasonable felony charge the federal government preferred against him. What do you make of those comments? I'm sure you might have stumbled on it or probably read it where he said, hey, come on, if I'm released 2 minutes, peace restores, in the southeast.
Yes, Mr. C. You know, we have always insisted and we have always said that the process of healing in the Southeast can only begin when Nnamdi is released. If you don't release Nnamdi Kanu, any effort you are making in the Southeast, it may not yield the desired effect. You may have some jamboree, you may have some meetings, you may have seminars, but the result may not necessarily be there until Nnamdi Kanu is released. I listened to him. When he was speaking. I would prefer that Nnamdi Kanu should stop using this kind of language he uses. He was so militant. This is not what we want right now. We are arranging for him to be released first and foremost. He was using the language of idiots. Who is the idiot that will talk to me? Who is the stupid man? Who is the bastard? No. We don't need that language right now. The language we need is a language of respect. Language that comes with integrity. You don't start accusing or abusing even when you're not released. The impression you give is that you are still militant. You are still a danger to the society. I don't think Nnamdi is a danger to the society. I don't think Nnamdi ought to be militant right now. So what we should be talking about is how to heal this nation, heal this country. He should be released, and we should look for progress. You don't achieve anything by being militant. A whole lot of things are achieved by negotiating peace and moving forward. I listened to him. I heard him speak. I wasn't happy the use of language, but that does not matter. What we are saying is, let him be released. Let him be granted bail, especially when other courts have said he has broken no law. If he has broken no law, why keep him? That is where we are concerned. Except if you are telling us he has broken a law, then we can look at the law he has broken. But as for him to have his freedom on a bail angle, from the bail point of view, he should be bailed because he ran away. He did not jump bail. He ran away for his life when his house was attacked by military and several people were killed in the process. If he did not run away, today we would have had his requiem mass long time ago.
Away from that story, before we get to the phone lines, the Abia State House of Assembly has passed into law a bill for a law to repeal the Abia State Governors and Deputy Governors Pension Law number 4 of 2001 and for other matters connected therewith, and this sponsored by the Majority Leader and member representing Arochukwu State Constituency, Okoro Uchenna-Kalu. Well, effectively, the bill revokes pensions for governors and deputies. Giant step, isn't it?
Well, you can see it from different angles, Mr. C. When I have this, especially when it came from my constituency, Arochukwu, I tried to reach Honorable Uchenna-Kalu, but I could not reach him. But fortunately, I was able to speak to at least 8 members of the House. I spoke to them passionately for a long time, and I wanted to know their direction. If you don't have information, it will be difficult to make proper judgment. So I wanted to find out what is their thinking, or how did they arrive at that? What is their judgment in revoking that 2001 pension provision by the laws of Abia State? I took away 2 things from what they said. First and foremost, most of them thought that the amount and the conditions and the palliatives which they used meant for the governors on retirement was too high. They felt the money was too much. It was not what it ought to be. The others said that the threesome of Ojo Zokalo, TAOG, and Dr. Basil, that they looted the common treasury of Abia State. Well, this is their allegation. And it was based on these 2 takeaways I have. These are the 2 takeaways I have for their reason for revoking or withdrawing from the laws the provisions for pensions for governors and their deputies. But if you look at my idea, Mr. C, you cannot make any law based on sentiments. You cannot make any law based on retaliations. You cannot make any law based on individual behaviors. No. Laws are made based on sustainability of those laws. What is pension? What is pension, Mr. C? Pension simply means that while you are working, is either it's contributory pension, you are putting money aside for when you are no more working, or maybe that government is keeping part of your salary or remuneration. Government is putting part of it aside so that when you are no more working, you can have something to rely on. If you are suggesting that the governors rip us off, the position should be the use of law to make sure that nobody does it again. That is when it's sustainable. Those who commit crimes against the people, we make sure we have the retribution of the laws. The laws are there to take care of crimes where they are committed. And if you are suggesting again, Mr. C, that the amount is too high, now we put it to their levels. The payment of pensions is made based on the office the man has held, he or she has held, his income, and also the volume of job he has done for that period, depending on the calculations that the provisions allow by the law. We cannot just throw it away because those who were there stole money. Let's assume that we have those eventually who are like Governor Victor Atta of Akwa Ibom State. He has nothing to his name. He had nothing, not even a house to his name. We cannot kill a pension provision because those who were there were criminals. No. We can only kill it to the extent to which it serves not a sustainable position. Look at people like Yaradua. If you ask me, for example, you know, Yaradua had nothing to his name. Look at Shagari. Shagari from Sokoto, when we went to bury him, Mr. C, you cannot believe that was the house, or that is the house of a former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. When we went to bury Sam David West, you cannot believe that somebody who was a minister of petroleum, he doesn't have a house, he doesn't have a car, nothing. In fact, some few years before his death, the press had asked him if he had a will. He said, I have no will because there's nothing to will. With my house here, I'm in the University of Ibadan. It's the University of Ibadan that owns the house. The car I'm driving is owned by the faculty where I'm a professor. I have nothing to my name. In his village, there was nothing for him. So for those people, what do we do? People like Mbakwe, people like Jafar Isai of Kaduna, what do we do to those people? If we have those characters in government, there must be pension for them. If you do not create a pensionable situation, what you are asking the governor to do, or the deputy, well, when you are there, my dear, help yourself, because you have nothing to live on. The essence of pension is not to just necessarily give to those who have. No. It's to make sure that when he leaves office, there is something he can live off of. If you do not provide for what he will live off of, he will make provision for himself. That is where corruption comes in. That is where fraud comes in. That is where embezzlement comes in. That is where misappropriation comes in. So we cannot make laws based on sentiment, on primordial sentimental positions. We cannot make laws based on revenge. We cannot make laws based on anger. No. Laws must be made based on the sustainability of those laws and for the better interest of the people. That withdrawal of, or that what is it called in law, Mr. C?
The repeal?
The repeal was wrong, unnecessary, made out of anger, made out of poor judgment, and it is not sustainable. We must have to make laws that are sustainable. Pension is good. Anybody who commits a crime, we should tackle the crime, tackle the individual. We should allow the pension to take care of people when they are no more in office. That is my thinking.
I mean, some persons would say, well, fantastic take there. But in a minute, if you will, before we do the phone lines, the speaker during plenary, while trying to expound on this bill, said the bill would, amongst other merits, ensure that the outrageous cost of governance is reduced to channel Abia State resources towards the development of the states. Isn't that tenable, you think? Maybe in addition to your
I don't agree with that, Mr. C. I have said that if the amount of money meant for their pension is too much, it should be done reasonably. After all, we have a pension scheme going on in the state, even the old pension and the contributory pension we are having now. Let us, if you are insisting that for the 8 years or maybe for the 4 years the governor or the deputy is going to be there, he should be involved with contributory pension. So it's simple. Whatever he kills, he eats. Whatever he contributes for himself is what comes to him. Contributory pension. So to suggest that there is no pension at all, you are encouraging crime, you are encouraging fraud, you are encouraging criminality, you are encouraging embezzlement. People should have pension. If it is too high, we should bring it to normal level where it should be equidistant to inflation or equidistant to the office or his income while he was in office. Or, in the alternative, let it be essentially a contributory pension. Whatever he contributes, he keeps for himself. It's more or less a savings arrangement for him. To suggest that there should not be pension at all for governors and deputies, what you are inadvertently suggesting is that when they are in office, they should take care of themselves, whether it is criminal or otherwise. But let me give you information, Mr. C, very clearly. This is a very common knowledge that any employee that's a billionaire, two things are involved: fraud and irregularity. Any employee that turns to be a billionaire is either a criminal or very fraudulent. We should allow people have proper pension arrangement, whether governors, deputy governors, permanent secretaries, or whether commissioners. They must be paid equidistant to whatever their income and their positions are when they leave office. Scrapping it completely, it's not in the best interest of a sustainable, honest society for which we are striving to have.
0816-111-5955 or 0907-103-6625. This is the phone line. 0816-111-5955 or 0907-103-6625. 1 minute if you come through. We have the first caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. C.
Good morning to you.
Obrigado.
Obrigado.
Good morning, Excellency Chikwe Udensi.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you. I am Dr. Kwendada. My name is Obama. I am calling from Boston.
Welcome to 1 minute, please.
Governor elected. Mr. Speaker, Alex Yoki is the governor at the state. The general before is a welcome governor. The man are trying to bring in development in Nigeria. Now, governor want to flag out of people and the people are so good. Out of school local government. Basically, this is Nigeria. Such a governor make such a movement. I am calling the Abia to support Governor Alex Yoki development. Nobody in Abia can do such a thing unless we can do it in Abia.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Although we didn't bring that on the program. Thanks nonetheless. We'll have another caller. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. C.
Good morning.
I'm calling from.
Welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Your network is not straight. If you could call us back, who's your manager?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Let's see. Go ahead. All right, do call us back, who's your manager, if you can. Phone line's free now. Good morning to you. Hello.
Good morning, Mr. Moderator.
Good morning.
Mr. C, good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning to you.
Okay, Mr. C, I'm Onyanapo Anayo Benjamin. Napo from Chikwe Udensi.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome.
Biko, nna anyị ukwu, abụ m otu onye n'ime ndị your great fan na Ali Tukwato from Ami Ogilanya. Ana m ekele gị na imere anyị bụ ndị aja na ndị Tukwato na ndị South East mata ihe anyị na-amapụghị before. Na-esokwanụ gị maka na ịbụ onye na-agwa anyị otu ihe si aga. Depụkwa n'eziokwu. Mana biko nna anyị okwu na otu ihe m sotokwana ka m rịọ gị biko ekwule n'iwe.
All right, thank you.
Hello?
Thank you very much. Your 1 minute is right.
No, he's about to ask for something. I don't know what it is.
Oh well, he's off the line already. I wish. Well, if you could call us back, would really appreciate. Well, we have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Mr. C, really fair.
Good morning to you.
Excellent.
Good.
Yes,
Good,
the
sir.
people that pass the bill have of assembly at their state. It's not correct. Yes, and they pass it because of the store and tax administration. So many people in that slogan say they failed and want somebody to be blamed for their failure. They failed fully. That's actually a slogan. And you are referring to a certain government, I mean, the federal government of other things. So that is that is why they pass that day. Like what we call administration, they say the fact that if you're a woman, you want to inherit their property, immediately you have to keep going in their house. So that one is by the way. So what we are saying in the first is that when I just said various of the center that comes together. See, this one just included in this point. He said that he has 3 children. As he's a billionaire, he's got everything among the post of government in another 3. So he's not there to pass the government. So he knows what they did. Maybe they pass it, they start buying houses.
Thank you.
So that's why you can't be there and be there.
Thank you.
They don't want to play acceptance pension.
Thank you very much.
It's not acceptable.
We appreciate. Thank you. 1 minute is up. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. C.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, Sir Chikwe Udensi.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome again to a wonderful letter for this morning.
Thank you, sir.
I'm of the opinion that maybe, perhaps, because this 1 hour is not enough. There are so many things, so many inexhaustible things to be talked about. But this platform is trying, but it's not. We don't have enough airtime for it. So my own is, if there's any way we can get it, maybe perhaps one of these days. I don't know how often you talk to these people in the national television. I would have loved it because people like you should be talking to the national. Well, these people will, because what we are listening to you here now, it goes around maybe perhaps up to 10 states, and I don't think it will go beyond. But we need things like this to always come up there at the national news, so that there are so many people that we've been interested to know what is going on. My own is just on a point of appreciation. I just want to appreciate this one. Thank you so very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your take. We have another caller. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. C.
Good morning.
My name is Chikwe Udensi, and I come here. Oga Mama. Oh, you say Mama?
Yeah.
And they will get him on the matter. I go like support that man we talk about now. Mr. C, if there is any way you can connect other radios, even if they will link to Southeast. In this state now, how you can hear the truth. Somebody can stand without looking your face, don't want to know who you are, tell you the truth, where you are doing the right thing and where you are doing the wrong thing. But only the one where me I know support. This one where they go do pension for former governors. How you go do pension for a governor when get pensioners? You want no people pensioners? When no people worker? You say make you compare. One pensioners they the house they cry. Because they have former governor. What take security vote? Pack the whole money. We got the bar.
Thank you.
If you say pay pensioners, pay workers, you don't say do good job. Compare.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate Fayeshe. Let's do this as the last call and then we call it a wrap. Good morning. Welcome to Open Parliament. Good morning, please.
Morning, Chief Chikwe Udensi.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
My name is Chikwe Udensi from outside the Correctional Kingdom.
Welcome.
First, the issue of the military, like you said, must be looked into, strategically to ensure that they don't do what we had in Zakidiam and Odi. Finally, I want to challenge even the House of Assembly that made this law. Have they found out whether any of the past governors collected this so-called pension? Because I know that the spokesperson of former Governor Joseph Okala had come out to say that he never collected 1 naira. Senator Theoji has also, through his liaison spokesperson, say he never collected 1 naira. I don't believe as though the spokesperson has issued a press statement to say they did not collect. So you say that the house did not even do any investment. They just want to play to the gallery. Who is collecting the money?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll leave it here. Well, your summary on this, sir.
Yes, I believe that we should allow anybody who have served the nation, who have served the state honestly, who have served diligently, it should be pensionable. That will make sure that we don't have fraud. We don't have people who look for where they will keep money for their old age. Because when you finish serving, age comes in, age sets in. The pension around the world is generated and created in such a way that people will have something to fall back on. And that pension scheme usually is always equidistant with inflation. As inflation is going up, pension goes up. But you know, in our country, everything is done and done negatively, unfortunately. Pension is very encouraging. It reduces fraud. It discourages people looking for where to get something to eat when they are no more in office. So we encourage that pension should be allowed on all levels of employment. All levels of employment. We encourage that everybody should be pensionable.
Okay, we're going to leave it here. A good place too. Thank you very much, Chikwe Udensi, for coming through and always.
Thanks, Mr. C. Thanks for always having me.
Thanks, listener, for being a part. To return same time, same station next week, God willing. Your calls and listenership returns tomorrow, the Thursday edition, live on this frequency. Interpol Systems consultant and security expert, Chikwe Udensi, has been our guest. We'll take you to the newsroom for the news update.
Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium.